Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to start our first video on our best of and worst of series, and in this case we're going to be talking about the 5 worst things about the Evercharge stick vacuum from Ryobi. Stay tuned. Alright guys, before we get started, just a little more information about this series. In this video, again, we will be talking about the 5 worst things about this tool. Now, these don't necessarily mean that these are deal breakers. They're just 5 of the things that we think you should consider before buying this tool, or 5 things that you might not like about this tool. And again, in a future video, we'll talk about the 5 best things about this tool and why you would want to consider buying this tool. Alright guys, jumping right into number 1 in no particular order. One of the things that we do not like about this tool is how heavy the vacuum part of this is. Now, even if you take off the attachments, you take off the battery, this unit is still very heavy. And as soon as you add back on any battery, it makes this very, very top heavy, especially if you're vacuuming a floor or if you're running around the house. Holding this unit is heavy. And that is the first thing that we do not like about this tool, is how heavy it is, how heavy it feels. I've run a 4 amp hour battery through the tool while vacuuming my house. And what I noticed was that my arm was very fatigued, abnormally fatigued for just vacuuming the house. It's very, very top heavy. So again, for number 1, the thing you need to consider is who's going to be using this tool. For someone with small hands that doesn't like the big batteries, wants to use the small batteries, they're going to compromise the runtime. And that's another thing to keep in mind for women and children. This could be a lot more difficult to use because of how heavy the tool is. Alright, on to the second thing that we do not like about this tool. The roller brush attachment is always on when the vacuum is activated. So as soon as the vacuum turns on, the rollers turn on. It would be really nice if there was a different button or switch that deactivated the roller when you're going over different surfaces. The third thing that we didn't like about this tool was the 2-speed switch. Now, as far as the switch placement and the button itself and the fact that it has 2 speeds, all of those things we like. However, the thing that we don't like about the switch is the fact that it goes through the high speed first and then the low speed. So it's a little counterintuitive to be going at a high speed, and then if you need to shut it off, you hit the button and it goes to a low speed. So it's still moving. Again, the rollers are still rolling, everything's still moving, and then you have to hit the button again to deactivate it. So maybe a different order or a completely redesigned button or switch. Again, that may not be a deal breaker for everyone, but for those who need to turn off the vacuum quickly, it's not just a single press, it's a double press from the first speed. Next up is the filter. And if you can see from the video here, we'll do a close-up, the filter is the first place that clogs. Everything else in the entire container is empty, but the filter and the area around the filter is completely filled up every single time. For whatever reason, the debris comes into the vacuum, into the collection chamber, and then just collects around the filter. Doesn't go anywhere else until that filter area is full, which means that you are losing some of your suction or some of your power because the filter is completely clogged up. We don't know why that is or why it's doing that specifically on this vacuum, but for whatever reason, that is the case and that is what happens. This filter likes to clog. Next up is the container itself. While we do like some of the things about this canister or the way that it empties, the canister itself, when you disconnect, the filter has no locking mechanism, which means that if you take off the canister, this filter will fall out or could fall out, spilling all of the debris. So you have to make sure to keep it upright. Now for children or for someone that doesn't know any better, that could be a disaster. That you could have a mess all over your hands. With a full canister, this filter easily falls out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Those are the 5 things we don't like about the Ryobi stick vacuum. Did you agree with our list? Do you have your own complaints? Post them in the comments below. Let us know what things you like or dislike about this Ryobi stick vacuum, and make sure to watch for our future videos, including our future 5 best things we like about this vacuum. Thanks for watching, guys.